So when you create a surface, there's a toolbar on the left here, and a big temptation when somebody opens up Civil 3D is to start closing all the tool spaces to get the nice big drafting window. Don't do that because you're going to have to end up getting this back. If you do lose it, it's called tool space. So down in your command bar, one word, tool space, will bring it back. I don't know where the button is to turn it on. It changes every version. So if we go into, I'm going to select surface, left click, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to create a surface. And I'm going to name this existing, because that's what it is. Description can stay, render material, all of that can stay. It's a tin surface. There's a couple of different things here. We're just going to call it a tin surface. You can put it on a layer, a different layer if you had a layer for it. I'm just going to put it on layer 0 for now, which is the default. I think you can move it after. Click OK. And now you can see that there's a little expansion menu here next to surfaces where I can click it, and then this will show how many surfaces I've created. So if I had created a proposed, you'd also see that here. And I'm going to go into existing, right, again, and then I'm going to expand definition. And in definition is where we're going to define our surface, what the surface is actually made of. So there's a couple things in here. There's boundaries, there's break lines, there's DEM files, drawing objects, edit, point files, point groups, point survey queries. These are all different types of inputs, whether it be from a data collector or an Excel spreadsheet, comma separated value, text files, anything. We're going to define it with contour lines. Now I've already verified this, but I'm just going to turn on properties here for a second. I'm going to select a contour line, and you can see that there's an elevation that shows up right here, 992. Properties again, 990. Properties 988. So you have to verify that all of the contour lines actually have an elevation in properties. AutoCAD doesn't read the text itself on the drawings. It's parametric. It reads the drawing metadata. So if those lines don't have an elevation in properties, your surface will be flat. Or if one of these does not have an elevation, you'll have a surface that's great at 900 and whatever some odd feet, and then if this one doesn't have an elevation, when you look at it in profile, you have this big spike that goes from 900 feet down to 0 and then back up. It looks like a hole in the middle of your drawing. All right, and that's not a good thing. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do here is I don't know if the road has an elevation or not. The road does not have an elevation, which is a little bit of an issue. We'll figure out how to address that after. So I'm going to go to contours. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to add. I'm going to call these existing grade. Distance doesn't really matter. It's just how the surface creates in AutoCAD. If you change that to really too small on a big drawing, you'll crash the computer. So if you had a survey of the whole school and you had this thing doing a 1 foot by 1 foot grid, these computers can't handle that. So I'll just leave it at the default. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to select all my contour lines. Luckily, these ones look like they go, for the most part, all the way through the drawing. Sometimes they break halfway through for some reason, depending on who drew them. Some people have better drafting style than others. All right, so I think I got. Oh yeah, one right here, right?
Right next to it.
And I got this one right here. The 1,000 I have. This one right here I have. Oh, that's a contour on the drawing, but it's probably not in there as a polyline, so it's not going to take that one as a contour. But we're not cutting a section through that area anyway. So I'm going to push enter, and that's my surface. Now, if I was doing a cut fill analysis, or if I was trying to do some type of volumes dashboard with this property, just this property specifically, I would then go into boundaries and set my boundary to the property line. However, on this one here, it'd be nice if we could extend our profile a little farther, so I'm going to leave the boundary as what it defaulted as, which is this yellow tin surface here. So if I change this to a conceptual view, maybe it'll work here. It's a little frozen. You can see that it has created in here a 3D surface for us. If I maybe go to, if I turn on orbit, see the 3D surface of the site? They're pretty powerful, right? So I'll go back to top and change my view to 2D wireframe. So that is our surface is created.